Good morning, friends. Welcome to Water Resources Engineering class. In today's class, I just wish to review some quiz questions covering all the 5 units. That means the entire content of the Water Resources Engineering which you have. So let us see into each question and what answers we can really answer. Right? List different types of rain gauges and indicate which type of rain gauge is most commonly used in India. First thing is types of rain gauges. Next one is which is commonly used in India. So rain gauges are mainly of 2 types. One is non-recording type and second one is a recording type. In the non-recording type, there is only one which we call it as Simon's rain gauge. Whereas in the case of recording rain gauges, it is tipping bucket, weighing bucket and float. So these are the 3 types. Total how many? Non-recording 1 and recording 3. Total 4 types. Among these 4, which is the most commonly used in our country is the Simon's rain gauge. This is the most commonly used rain gauge. So as the time progresses, now even the recording rain gauges number also has been increased in the last 5 years if you see it. So which one is mostly used is float type. So commonly used thing is Simon's rain gauge. Now in recent past, what is gaining momentum is which gauge they are installing, and the recording type is float type. Question 2. A small watershed is 25 hectares in size, has a group C soil which is covered with open forest. Cn is equal to 60. Assuming AMC means antecedent moisture condition. 2. Estimate the direct runoff volume due to 10 mm rainfall in one day. He has given Cn is equal to 60 and area of the land is 25 hectares. And it is group C soil, means anyhow Cn is given, so we don't need to bother anything. Our objective is estimate direct runoff of volume due to a rainfall of 10 mm. So what is it? So actually what we are supposed to do it is we need to find out what is S. What is S means what actually? S is nothing but the potential maximum retention after runoff begins. Right? And this is very important, and this method is what we call it as SCN method. Cn is nothing but curve number. This method is already explained to you in unit 2, wherein how to estimate the direct runoff. This empirical method was given to you, and these formulas whatever we are using here is approved by the Ministry of Agriculture, and from there we have drawn this method. So what is it? So in any problem you need to find out S, because problem is in your final equation it is all related between the rainfall and S value. Right? So what is S value? S value is 25400 by Cn minus 254. Once this is calculated, then you check whether P is less than 0.2s or P is greater than 0.2s. This is the first thing. If P is greater than 0.2s, then only there will be runoff. Then in the SCN method, they have given an equation which you can use. That equation is nothing but P minus 0.2 S whole square divided by P plus 0.8 S. Once again, P minus 0.2s whole square divided by P plus 0.8s. So that equation you can use and find direct runoff provided P is greater than 0.2s. But if P is less than 0.2s, then naturally the runoff is equal to. This is the first thing actually. So what is the thing for first now? If you use this method and find out your S value is 169.33 mm, then naturally P is less than 0.2s or P is greater than 0.2s, compare it. So what is your things actually that P is 0.2s. If I calculate what is it happening, 169 into 0.2s. So that means that if you calculate it is P is less than 0.2s, because yes, 0.2s is 33.87 and your P is 10 mm. Your P is less than 0.2s. What is that 0.2s? Why that 0.2s people are using? 0.2s is nothing but actually it is initial abstractions. So that much initial losses will be there. So that means your P value is less than that initial abstraction, that initial loss itself. Then where is the question of runoff? So that's why the runoff value is equal to 0. Define the terms specific yield and transmissibility. So this refers to which topic actually? Groundwater. Specific yield means what? The volume actually that drains freely by gravity from the saturated soil sample. From any saturated soil sample, that the volume of water that is drained to the total volume of it is what we call it as specific yield. Specific yield is nothing but it is the ratio of, basically numerator is the volume of the water that is drained freely, right, divided by the total volume of the soil. So this is what we call it as specific yield. And what is transmissibility? Transmissibility is nothing but it is the rate of flow of water through an aquifer of unit width under a unit hydraulic gradient. Because how much water, the rate of flow, it is the rate of flow basically of water through an aquifer of unit width under a unit hydraulic gradient, and transmissibility is equal to hydraulic conductivity K into B. B is nothing but the thickness of aquifer. B is the thickness of aquifer, K is the hydraulic conductivity. List different causes of waterlogging. What are the various causes of waterlogging? Waterlogging is due to what? Why basically waterlogging occurs? Number one is over irrigation. This is number one. Number two, seepage from canals. That is number one. Number three, inadequate drainage. Number three. Number four, high groundwater table. This is number four. Number five, flat topography. Then last one is poor soil permeability. So there are 6 causes for waterlogging. Number one is over irrigation. Number two is seepage from canals. Number three is inadequate drainage. Number four is high groundwater table. Then fifth one is the flat topography, and last one is poor soil permeability. Why all this is it reduces the soil aeration and automatically it reduces the crop yield. Define hydrology and list the components of hydrologic cycle. So hydrology means it is the branch of science that deals with occurrence, distribution and movement of water on the earth's surface and also beneath the earth's surface. So it is basically it is a science that deals with occurrence of water, then distribution of water and movement of water where? On the earth's surface and below the earth's surface. What are the components of hydrologic cycle? Number one is evaporation. Number two is transpiration. Number three is condensation, and then precipitation. after precipitation, infiltration, percolation, and finally runoff. List and describe the base flow separation methods. So base flow is separated from a storm hydrograph by either using a straight line method or two lines method or curves extension method. So these are the three methods that are used for base flow separation, and this is helpful. Base flow means from the entire storm hydrograph, whatever is the groundwater that is removed, then find out what is the surface runoff. This is what for it is. Define and differentiate between a confined aquifer and an unconfined aquifer. A confined aquifer is bounded by both on the top surface. Suppose if you take it, these are the two layers. So this is an impervious layer and this is also impervious layer. So this water, whatever it is there in between the two impervious layers, whatever water that is present, it is what we call it as confined aquifer. Right? And whereas that is what I mentioned, a confined aquifer is bounded above and below by impervious layers and contains water under pressure greater than atmospheric pressure because it is contained between two impervious surfaces. Whereas an unconfined aquifer has a free water table, so only bottom one will be there, and naturally this is the ground level actually, so water level is here. So an unconfined aquifer has a free water table open to the atmosphere and receive and the pressure is basically atmospheric pressure and receive direct recharge from the surface. From the surface means from the ground actually. Then define delta and duty. Delta is nothing but the total depth. Please remember, delta means total depth required to raise a crop over its base period. Duty is the area that can be irrigated with a unit discharge, 1 cubic of water during the crop period. Duty is the area that can be irrigated. That means duty is nothing but the area that can be irrigated with 1 cubic of water. The area that can be irrigated with 1 cubic of water is what we call it as duty. And what is the relation between duty and delta? Delta is equal to 8.64 into B by D, where B is the base period. Mention 4 important components of a hydrologic cycle in the order of their occurrence. So main components of a hydrologic cycle are evaporation and transpiration. Number 1, condensation, precipitation, next runoff and infiltration. These are the things. It continues cyclically. Mention 3 methods of computing average rainfall over a basin and indicate the best method. That there are 3 methods for estimating the average precipitation. The 3 methods are arithmetic mean method, Thiessen polygon method and isohydral method. Out of the 3, the most accurate results can be obtained by using the isohydral method. This gives most accurate results actually. And define and explain phi index with the help of a neat sketch. The phi index, what is the phi index? Phi index is nothing but average rate of infiltration. It is the average rate of infiltration above which the rainfall is equal to runoff. Above which the rainfall volume is equal to the runoff volume. It is obtaining by drawing a horizontal line on the rainfall hydrograph separating the infiltration loss and direct runoff. Now if you say, if you take on x-axis time and on x-axis rainfall intensity, you get the bar charts which we call it as rainfall hydrograph. In that hydrograph, you draw a horizontal line stating that is nothing but that indicates the phi index such that Below that line, it indicates the average rate of infiltration, and above that line, the rainfall volume is equal to runoff volume. It is more rather than single line. Actually, Horton has given a curve actually for this infiltration. The second figure gives that Horton's infiltration capacity curve. Once you draw the hyetograph and superimpose the infiltration curve on that, whatever the above portion, the above portion of the infiltration curve represents basically this runoff volume or direct runoff. Define unit hydrograph for what type of catchments is UH applied. A unit hydrograph is a hydrograph of direct runoff representing 1 centimeter of direct runoff from a catchment due to uniform rainfall of unit duration. Excellent things, the last two. Uniform rainfall of unit duration producing 1 centimeter depth of direct runoff. That whatever the resulting hydrograph is called as unit hydrograph. Unit hydrograph is the hydrograph of direct runoff representing 1 centimeter of direct runoff from a uniform rainfall of unit duration. It is applicable to small and medium catchments having rainfall distribution is uniform and the response from the catchment is linear. This is very important actually. Define porosity, specific retention and specific yield and write the connecting equation between them. Porosity is nothing but the ratio of void volume to the total volume of soil sample. So it is the ratio of volume of voids to the total voids actually. Out of that, whatever water that is retained against gravity, retained is specific retention. It is the ratio of volume of water that is retained against gravity divided by the total volume. We call it as specific retention. Specific yield means whatever the ratio of it is nothing but the ratio of the volume of water that is drained freely by gravity divided by the total volume. So if I write porosity N is equal to volume of voids divided by total volume of soil. So this is first one. Specific retention means volume of water retained against gravity by total volume. Then S yield. S yield is represented by Sy is equal to volume of water drained freely by gravity divided by total volume. So naturally volume of water retained plus volume of water drained must be equal to the volume of voids. So because the water is filled only in the voids, so the volume of water retained and volume of water drained put together volume of voids. That is why the connecting equation is porosity is equal to specific retention plus specific yield. Define duty, delta and write down the connecting equation. Duty is nothing but the area of land that can be irrigated with 1 cubic of water, whereas delta is the depth of water that is required for a crop. So now the connecting equation delta is equal to 8.64 into B by D, where delta is the depth of water, D is the area that can be irrigated with 1 cubic and B is the base period in days. Define waterlogging and indicates its adverse effect on agricultural soil. Waterlogging occurs when the soil becomes saturated and the water table rises near to the root zone of any plant. It reduces soil aeration and decreases the crop yield and leads to salinity and alkalinity in the soil. Define mass curve and indicate the purpose for which it is used. A mass curve is a graph between cumulative rainfall or runoff and time. It is cumulative. The word should be remembered is cumulative. Cumulative rainfall versus time is called as rainfall mass curve. Cumulative runoff versus time is called as runoff mass curve or simply mass curve. What for it is used? The rainfall mass curve is used for determining the storm duration for rainfall intensity, whereas the runoff mass curve is used for storage capacity of reservoirs and design of drainage systems. So each one has its own purpose. The rainfall mass curve actually it is used for estimating the storm duration and rainfall intensity, whereas the runoff mass curve is used for storage capacity determination and design of drainage systems. Draw a neat sketch of hydrograph and explain the components therein. A hydrograph is a plot. A hydrograph is a plot actually of what? One is the discharge, second one is time at the catchment outlet. It is basically a graph that is drawn between time on x-axis and discharge on y-axis at the catchment outlet. The main components of the hydrograph are: number one is the rising limb, then crest portion, third one is recession limb. It includes base flow, direct runoff and time to peak. It represents the response of the basin for a particular rainfall. Because of a particular rainfall, what is the response of the catchment for it? Is nothing but it is basically the hydrograph. Define aquifer and classify different types of aquifer. An aquifer is nothing but a geological formation that can store water. Please remember, it is a geological formation that can store water and transmit water. Number one, it can store and it also can transmit. Such a one is what we call it as an aquifer. The classification, the different types of aquifers are unconfined aquifer, confined aquifer, perched aquifer, leaky aquifers. So this completes to me basically one topic or one what we call it as one first attempt in giving you some of the quiz questions in all the units put together.
Vishnu Audio Visual Center, like and share and subscribe and click bell icon.